Hey, Jake's Lego Corner here, and if you've seen some of my most recent videos, specifically the custom Lego minifigure showcases, you'll know that I am a fan of the Riordan Farce books and the TV shows, even the Percy Jackson movies to an extent. I don't know why I said TV shows, there's only one of them. Anyways, seeing Lego hasn't made any sets based off of the show that just came out in December and January, I thought right now would be a good time to go over settings, locations, and scenes that I think would make good Lego sets. I'll say what I think would be included in them, how much they'd cost in Canadian dollars based off of what I'd include, and all of that. So anyways, let's get into that. Okay, so up first, I thought we'd start off with something from the first episode, which is the Minotaur Escape, which is the scene where they're driving to Camp HalfBlood and the Minotaur is chasing them, but I feel like the name might have given that away. Anyways, this set would include a brick-built Minotaur, obviously, and I figured they could do it in a similar style to the way they did Ares in the first Wonder Woman movie set. Then also included they could add Gabe's Camaro in a Speed Champion style, but make it fit all three of the main characters inside. The figures included would obviously be Sally, Grover, and Percy. And I figured that this would probably cost around $39.99 to $49.99 Canadian. But with inflation, it would probably cost a bit more. But if they were to charge more for it, I'd probably add in a couple trees to add stuff for the car to crash into as well. Next up, I have the Olympus throne room, which would retail for about $24.99 Canadian to $19.99 Canadian, anywhere in that range. And I figured they could do the set in a similar way to the way they did the throne room for Sons of Garmadon. I forget the name of it, but it was $24.99. You got a throne, you got a couple side stuff, or maybe they could just include the throne. And for minifigures, you'd get Zeus, obviously, as well as Percy. And finally, Poseidon. Next up, I have what would be the Camp HalfBlood set, and for this, you'd get the Poseidon cabin, the Hermes cabin, and the main, dining pavilion. You'd also get a couple side builds, like an archery target, a couple trees, maybe the dining pavilion or some benches at least. You'd get a couple weapon racks, and then for figures in this, you'd get Chiron, Annabeth, Percy, Grover, Luke, Clarice, Dionysus, and maybe a couple unnamed campers, and maybe possibly Chris Rodriguez, but I don't know what else that you could theoretically put in that. They didn't show off too much else. I mean, you could put other cabins, but we didn't see the inside of any other one besides the Hermes and the Poseidon, so it wouldn't really work as well. Theoretically, I think this set would cost around $199 Canadian to $150 Canadian, depending on how much, detail and effort they put into the cabins. And finally, I have what would be the Betrayal, is what I'm calling it, and it would be a diorama, like an 18+ level diorama, sort of like the Star Wars ones. Not the Marvel ones, the Star Wars ones, where it's the black base plate with the really detailed, scenery, and it would be the ruins, as well as a forest. And then you'd also get Percy and Luke, maybe even Annabeth, to inhabit it, and it would be that final scene, not final scene, but that scene where Luke betrays Percy and they have that sword fight in the woods. I feel like that would be a really good diorama set. It could even be a play set. If it was a play set, it would probably be like $24.99 Canadian to $19.99 Canadian. But as a diorama, I think it could go anywhere from $49.99 Canadian to $65.99 Canadian. It would be a beautiful thing to have on display. This is all in my head though, so I might try and build something like it, but maybe at a smaller scale, because I don't have the parts that Lego would have to make it. All I know is I think it would look really cool to have this really detailed stuff. You could even have some of the fireworks in the background. Anyways, that's it for today's video. If you want to hear more ideas based off of season 1 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, please let me know, because I have many more in my head that I think would make great sets if Lego were to make them. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Bye.